All praise to the Most High, through His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahushua, the one that the whole world called ignorantly Jesus Christ. Again, brothers and sisters, welcome again on my YouTube channel. Another video to edify the brother, the 12 tribe of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latino, and Native Indians scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So without any further ado, the topic of this video is that, are we to obey God or men, or pastor, or priest, or the Pope? Who are we to obey, right? So let's find it out. I'm going to go to the book of Genesis chapter 3 verses 17. This is the book of Genesis chapter 3 verses 17. I'm going to read it. This is the book of Genesis chapter 3 and verses 17. And I'm going to read. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. He said, cursed is the ground for thy sake, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. So, for listening to his wife, for we'll see many of our people, we do that. We want to listen to our wife. Whatever our wife say, we want to do it. Whatever the Most High say, or the creator, the living God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob say, we don't want to do it. But there are consequences. You don't want to listen to the Most High, He got you. Okay? We suggest and we advise you through the Spirit of the Most High that you listen to the Most High. How do you listen to the Most High? Is that me? No. To listen to the Most High is by following His law and His commandment, which are written in this Bible. Okay? Do not listen to a pastor, the Pope, the priest. They are not here for your turn. They are only here for your money. Okay? So, because Adam, he listened to his wife instead of the Most High, because the Most High already told him, do not do that. However, the woman, which was deceived by the serpent, got him what? To listen. And he listened and he obeyed the voice of his wife instead of the voice of the Most High. So that's why the Most High told him, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Say, curse is the ground. That's why we got to work hard to live on this earth today. That's why you got to do 3 jobs, 2 jobs sometime in order to survive. Some of you think that you're going to be rich. You ain't going to be rich, man. Okay? So I'm going to jump to the book of Exodus. I'm going to go to the book of Exodus. I'm going to go to Exodus chapter 19. And I'm going to read verses 5. Okay? You can't listen to your wife. And the Most High set up order. The order is what is the Most High, the living God. His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahushua, the one you call ignorant to Jesus Christ. And then the man. That's the order. That if anyone wants to go against the Most High, you go ahead and do it. The joke is on you. On the day of judgment, you're going to respond. Okay, for all your wicked act. With the Most High, everything is way. Action. Right? Whatever you do, the Most High will judge you based on that. He's not just going to judge you because he will judge you based on the law or the commandment. But you Christians don't want to keep it. I'm going to go to, this is the book of Exodus chapter 19 and verses 5, and I'm going to read. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed. So he say indeed. That means, what is indeed? What is the definition for indeed? Let's see. I'm going to go quick onto Google and I'm going to look for definition of indeed. Right? And let's see what does it mean. Definition. Okay. Definition of indeed. Let's see. Let's see, what does it mean? So you might not be able to see, to visualize very well, right? But I'm going to show you. Okay? Okay? It might not be clear. It might be blurry, right? So, but you get a point. So, this is the definition of the word indeed. It's a used to emphasize a statement or response confirming something already suggested, right? So I'm going to jump to definition 2. We say, used to introduce a further and stronger or more surprising point. So indeed that means you got to do it. That means it's important, right? That means it is important. That means it is important. So I'm already, you say, this is the book of Ezra chapter 19 and verses 5. This is the book of Ezra chapter 19 verses 5. And you say, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed. So the voice of the Most High are found in this Bible. Specifically in the first 5 books of the Bible. Okay, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and then Deuteronomy, right? So you see prophecy through the prophet, but the law, the commandment, the 613 law and commandment are written, are laid down. They've been laid down or laid off in the first 5 books of Moses. And I'm going to continue. Then, and keep my covenant. So the Most High didn't say to go to church to listen to a pastor or your daddy or your manager or whoever. He said, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. So we're supposed to be ruling above all nations, above the so-called white men, the Chinese, the East Indian, the Arabs, you name it, or whatever you want to name it. We're supposed to, right? But because we don't want to listen to the Most High, we want to listen to men. Men say you can be a faggot, you can be a homosexual, you can be a gangs, a drug dealer, all these things. We believe those things, right? Let's see. For all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So it was clear, the message of the Most High. It was very clear. The Most High said, keep my law, my commandment. That's what he said. Very simple. I'm going to go to the book of 1 Samuel. When you don't listen to the Most High, this is what happens. When you don't want to listen to the Most High, you want to go by your wicked mind, this is what happened. I'll show you. 1 Samuel chapter 15. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15. Because this happened with who? With Samuel. I'm going to read verse 24. And Saul said, this is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 24. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord. So you see, so how did he transgress it? Let's see how did he transgress. He hasn't said it yet, but he's going to reveal it further. He said, and thy words. So he didn't listen to the prophecy of Samuel, and he didn't keep the commandment. He did not keep the commandment of the Most High. He did not keep it. Now let's see what happened. Because I fear the people and obey their voice. So he didn't fear the Most High. He was not scared of the Most High. He was scared of the people. How can you be scared of something that is on the low level, very, very low level? So a man might have the mind to do evil, wickedness, but guess what? The Most High is the one that allowed him to do. If the Most High does not allow Satan to do this and that, Satan cannot operate. Satan cannot operate within himself. The Most High has to give him the okay. Okay? So he rebelled. He rebelled. So that's what happened. So he said, now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sins. So it was already too late. But he was asking Samuel. But Samuel can't do much. I'm going to go to the book of Matthew. Matthew 15. I'm going to go to 15. This is the book of Matthew chapter 15. This is the book of Matthew chapter 15. And I'm going to read verses 3. The same thing will happen in the time of Christ. And Christ, he rebuked them. This is the book of Matthew chapter 15 and verses 3. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? So he said, you have, so he was cutting them. He said, why you don't keep the commandment of the Most High? But you want to believe in what? Homosexuality? You want to believe in weakness? All the evil, idolatry, all these things. He said, why do ye also transgress the commandment of the Most High? By your tradition. See? Very simple. Okay? You can't go around this. I'm going to go to the book of Mark, chapter 7, and verses 7 through 9. And I'm going to read it. This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verses 7 through 9. He said, howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men, for laying aside. So whatever you've been taught in your church, it comes from men, it's not literally from the Bible, because they don't tell you to keep the commandment. The Christian church don't tell you to keep the commandment. Thou shalt not hate thy thy brother in thy heart, right? Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not kill, right? The Christian church does not teach the woman that they should be dressing up in a modest apparel, that the woman should not be putting on makeup. Because when you put on makeup, you got some spirit that jump on you, evil spirit, and you feel proud. You think you this, you that. Those are the things, but they don't teach you. That's why Christ was rebuking them. He said, for laying aside the commandment of God. So they don't keep the commandment of the Most High, but they keep the commandment of men, right? So let's see. He said, ye hold the tradition of men as the washing of pot and cups and many other such like things you do. So he said, you waste time on vanity, things that won't prosper you, things that won't help you get to the kingdom. So what is going to get you to the kingdom? Is for you so-called Latino, Native Indian, and blacks. Based on your father, he's keeping the commandment, the law of the Most High. You don't keep those commandments and law, you can't make it. How can you make it in the kingdom? You can't make it. There won't be no magic to get into the kingdom. It's not happening. So I'm going to go to the book of Acts. Okay, I'm going to go to the book of Acts, chapter 4, verses 19. This is the book of Acts, chapter 4, and verses 19. But Peter and John answered and said unto them, whether it be right in the sight of God to hearken unto you more than God? Judge ye. So you see, so Peter and John, they were asking the brother. He said, listen, is that okay in the sight of the Most High that we should hearken to men? Or should we hearken to God? So he was asking them, you yourself, you judge it. Can a human being save you? No. He might think that he saved you, but in fact he did not save you. It's the Most High that moved the spirit. Men don't have no mind to do a damn thing unless the Most High give us the strength. I can't do a damn thing. This video I'm making is not my mind. It's the Most High that moved the spirit on me to do it. But me, myself, I can't do a damn thing. I cannot do a damn thing. Nothing I can't do. So you need to understand that. You need to start thinking that way. So that nothing you can't do on your own unless the Most High allow you. The Most High, he operate on two levels. So the Most High, he balance. With the Most High's balance, he create evil and good. Evil is for the wicked. Okay, good is for the righteous. So evil for the one that won't keep the commandment. They will just want to do wickedness. So good is for those that will keep his commandment. Those that will listen to the Most High by reading this Bible and keeping the commandment, the law written in this Bible. It's very simple. It's not complicated. There is no magic. I'm going to jump. This is the book of Acts chapter 5 and verses 29. I'm going to read. So this is the book of Acts chapter 5 verses 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. So he said, we have to obey God. Not the pastor, not me, not your daddy, not your mommy. If your daddy tell you to go steal, you shouldn't be listening to him because the Most High already said it, thou shalt not steal. It's not because he's your daddy that you're going to listen to him. No. Because he's teaching you what? Weakness. So if your mommy tell you that, oh yeah, you know what, as a woman, you can wear pants, there should be an issue. Guess what? You shouldn't be listening to your mommy. Don't listen to her because guess what? She doesn't fear the Most High. And she can't save you regardless. Whatever happens, she can't save you. She may be your mom. You respect her, fine. But if she's teaching you weakness, do not listen to her. Do not listen to her. You can't do that, right? So it's very, very important. We must obey the Most High. I'm going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 55. I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 55. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 55. And then I'm going to read, let me see the verses I want. It says, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 55 and verses 8 through 9. It says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. So the way I think, the Most High does not think like that. The way I want things to be done, the Most High does not want the thing to be done that way. Okay? The way your pastor, your mother, your daddy, your manager, whoever you are, you name it, think, the Most High does not think like that. You might want to go here and do this way, but the Most High does not want it that way. You see? The Most High sent the rain to come down from heaven to the earth to water the earth, right? Same thing, right? Let's see. He said, neither are your ways my ways. So the way I think or the way you think or your teacher, your pastor, whoever does it is not the way the Most High think. No. Can you teach the Most High? No. So he says, say the Lord, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, So we're living on the earth, right? We're living on the earth, right? So why should we be listening to people that are living with us on this earth? For they're living literally on the same earth like us. Right? It's not because they have money, they have this and that. No, we don't have to listen to them. We do not. Why? Because they don't teach us the law, the commandment of the Most High. They do not teach us righteousness. They only teach us weakness. Do this, whatever you want to do, you do is fine, right? So he said, so are my ways higher than your ways? So the way of the Most High is higher than my way. It's higher than the way of your pastor, your mommy, your daddy, your uncle, anybody, you name it, your wife, your husband, whatever, okay? And my thought than your thought. So the thought of the Most High is the one that creates everything, okay? So it's not your pastor. Your pastor is so low. He's way too low, okay? He said, for as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven and return not hither, but water the earth and make it bring forth and bud, that he may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. So the Most High said his word is always going to go forth and achieve whatever it meant to achieve. And let's see, I'm going to continue. And shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I send it. So the Most High word is always going to prosper. Whatever the Most High says is going to go down, is going to go down. Okay? Two more scripture. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. It says, thus said the Lord, cursed be the man that trusts in man. So if you trust in your daddy, your wife, your mommy, your uncle, your teacher, you name it, your pastor, the pope, anyone, your president, the prime minister, or congressman, if you trust in it, you curse. You literally curse. You will curse. Okay, you need to understand. I'm reading to you. He said, this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. He said, thou said the Lord, cursed be the man that trusts in man and make flesh his arm. So how can you trust in the flesh? The Most High will never die. A man, he will die. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but he will die one day. So why the hell would you trust in a man? So that's the point. Because he can't save you. Does it make any sense to you? He cannot save you, or she cannot save you. None of them, whether it be a pastor. I can't save anybody unless the Most High allow me to do it. Okay? So let's continue. He said, for he shall be like the heat in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh. So when righteousness cometh, good cometh, you won't see because you trust in man. So the Most High, he said you already cursed. So once you curse, you don't see any good thing. You'll be suffering, getting in trouble here and there, left, back and forth. Why? Because you don't fear the Most High. You trust in man. Because you're making 100 million a year, you trust in that money, right? That's why America say in what? In the dollar, the God of money that we trust. They don't trust in the Most High. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? No, they do not. They trust in Satan. Satan is the God. The God of America is Satan. Literally. That's where you see weakness all over the place. Okay? And you can't say anything about it. They get so offended. Right? Let's see. It says, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabited. So the Most High said you're just going to be suffering. You're going to be in poverty. Okay? He said, blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. So when you trust in the Most High, you're good. You're safe. You're in good hands. Right? For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters. So when you plant a tree by the water, you don't have to water the plant. No, you don't have to. Because the water is watering right away. Isn't that beautiful? That's why it's beautiful, right? And that spread out her root by the river, and shall not see when he cometh. But her leaf shall be green, so always green. Never gonna die. Okay? And shall not be careful in the year of drought. So when there be drought, you don't need to do anything to that tree because the water is watering. But what is he saying right here? The Most High is that water. The Most High is that water that be flowing all day long, watching over that tree, giving him all the nutrients that he needs to survive. Whether it be winter, whether it be drought, you call it, whatever season. The leaves always going to be green. Same thing with us. He's using that as a dark saying, is a parable, right? It's a neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So you'll be successful. You'll be successful. That's what he's saying. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Okay. I'm going to read this is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verses 13. He said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. fear God and keep his commandment. For this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So with that, brother and sister, I hope this video was edifying. Remember, you cannot hearken or listen or do what pastor, teacher, or you name it, okay, is teaching you. As long as it's outside of the Bible, it does not sound together with the law, the commandment of the Most High, you should never ever listen to them. Do not. Whether it be your daddy, your mommy, your uncle, your wife, your husband, do not. You must go by that said the Most High. That's all. For to be saved, what do you need? You got to keep the commandment. You must keep the commandment. So with that, I'm going to say all praise to the Most High. Shem HaMashiach. I'm going to say shalom, brother.